Michael Jordan. Yo, I used to love the. They'd be like, yo, that thing used to go hard though. That Bulls intro back in the 90s.
Yeah.
That day, Jordan coming in with chewing the gum. You know what? Yeah. That thing is hot. Man, listen, guys. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. You already know what it is. This is the SWAC Championship post-game show with me, my guy Rocky, and none other than that legendary guy, Johnnie Cole. So, Coach, he already froze.
Coach done froze on us already. Somebody done called him probably. That's all he. Coach, can you hear us?
You hear us?
Yeah, I can hear. I can hear y'all.
Awesome.
Hear me?
Awesome. Yeah, we can hear you. Good.
That's fine, Coach.
All right, Coach. Listen, you know you called in. I know you saw some stuff. Let's talk about what you feel Southern did wrong, and then we can go into what you feel JSU did wrong, and then we can go JSU did right, and then so forth, and then we can get to South Carolina State. But first up, Southern, what was your problem with their game plan, and did you have a problem with the game plan?
No, I didn't have a problem with the game plan. You got to understand, out of 8 games they won, only one team had a winning record. So they played, and I really take my hat off to Terrence and his coaching staff. They actually played a good first half, and they slowed the game down. And, they showed Jackson State early in the game that we were going to make you throw the ball. We were going to try to take your running back away. And actually, they didn't really take him away. The play calling kind of took him away. And, when you get down in the red zone and stuff, and I kind of felt that, when you go into a game, Scotty, you have a call sheet that I want to call these 10 or 20 plays. You had that call sheet. But sometimes, when they work, and then next thing you know, you down in the red zone after 4 plays, you got to get away from your call sheet and go to situational ball. You know what I mean? Let me call my red zone, because in the red zone, the defense going to do this. And so we supposed to be doing this. And called Jackson State on 2 sacks, early in the game. And I'm like, what are we doing? Are we putting the game in the hands of Morgan? No. We're supposed to get the ball to the tailback. So I think in the first half, that's what they did. I didn't think Jackson State came either with a good game plan, or they were moving the ball so good so early that they got caught up, and they played ball the way Southern wanted them to play, So, and then, of course, the second half was a totally different of what we was expecting from Jackson State and what we was expecting from Southern.
What you got, Rock?
I like that Southern came in the game with a defensive strategy where they were going to force the issue with Jackson State. They weren't going to sit back and let Jackson State just run all over. I saw some run blitzes. I saw them loading up the box, and you saw when Jackson State dropped back to pass, they were able to put pressure on Jacoby Morgan and sack it. I really like that. And so offensively, what I liked from Southern is it seemed like they came in with a measured game plan filled with things that they thought T-Set could execute along with their offense. And it seemed like in the first half, they were really prepared. Though they weren't explosive offensively, I thought they were really effective and were able to control the ball with play calling and situational football, to be honest with you.
Overall, I like the first half. I think the first half was some great football, just how it was played out. But then I agree with Coach. It was, a lot of it was self-inflicting by Jackson State not doing what they do well. But Coach, let me ask you this, right? Because I want to get into a little X's and O's, right? Now, this 2x2 formation, I'm gonna clean this up. And how else because I felt like Southern found something, right? And we knew that Jackson was going to probably, do whatever they could to stop this, right? But this 2x2, And we don't need the O-line. We'll just do the quarterback and the running back, right? Now,
I'm
go ahead.
ahead.
My thing is,
O-line.
oh, okay, we need the O-line. I'll put that in. 1, 2, 3.
Coach not gonna let him. The big guys, you gotta have the big guys, huh, Coach?
Yeah, that's where it starts from.
All right, so
Okay.
I'll make this the quarterback then. All right, I'll make this the quarterback. All right, now in this let me see, we got 2, 4, 6, 11. All right, cool. My issue that I saw in this game was that I did like it. I love this formation. It dictated the box for them so they could run or pass or whatever but my issue is when they went to this weird 3, I don't even know what you call it, right? They will go this, they would do this. My issue is that this could have been your motion man to get you. He could have started here and motioned here. He could have went here and got over here, gone over here, shift over here, to where that Jackson would have been moving or they would have had to communicate to be like, hey, who's that guy? Who got this? And you could still run your play. And I feel like you still could have, even though you knew Jackson saw your 2x2 and how they were going to play you going forward was a little bit like this, right? They started having that outside backer here or the nickel corner. Then they had the corner here sometimes. And then sometimes over here, they would play corner on and then, a linebacker here or whatever, or corner off or whatever. But what are some things that you felt they could have done to make this formation continue to work even after in the second half? Because the first half, it was successful. They really didn't go back to it in the second half. But what are some adjustments that you would have made if you would have seen that this was working?
Well, first I would have stayed in the formation because it was working. And what was happening, it wasn't necessary, and why it was working is because Jackson State likes to play an eagle defense. They want to cover the nose, take their 2 ends and inside the tackles.
You say inside the tackles?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they got a 2D tackles, right? So where's this other D tackle at? Is he head up on this guard or?
Oh, you have two linebackers.
2 linebackers. Got you. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 2 more.
Yeah. And then sometimes they went 2 safeties, put 2 safeties. All right.
Yep.
So now you got safeties, and remember they were still trying to run his zone inside, but it kept popping outside.
Yeah. They would steal this, and then the guy would get out, and the quarterback would keep it and get out. Right.
Because of that. But see that backer, those 2 outside backers in a normal eagle front, double eagle front, them backers would be up on the line. You know what I mean? One of them then they'll go a 4 front. So give me a 40 front. They went 40 front. Just add another move your nose over and bring the other one.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, now take one of those linebackers and bring them inside, or one of those safeties. Erase one of the safeties.
Oh, okay, I got you. So here, and then
you got 2.
And then this safety.
You got two. Yeah.
Gotcha. They stacked that outside guy a couple times though.
Yeah, they had the two inside guys in the 4 eyes. They want to spill the zone out to them linebackers. You can't play in one game coverage as well. So
so what you're saying is they want to grab.
They end up doing, making an adjustment in between series and move those inside tackles to outside.
So when you say that they want to crash, and then this backer comes out and scrapes over the top, and he fills in this hole, right? Can you hear me, Coach?
I can hear you now.
All right, so what you're saying is this end would crash, this tackle would crash, and this linebacker comes out, and he's responsible for this.
And he's got to because they want to play bounce. But sometimes what happened, them D linemen get caught looking and trying to make the tackle, and they don't keep what you call gap integrity.
Gotcha.
So that's all that was happening until they made adjustment. But I still don't see why Southern didn't go back to some of that in the second half, because it was working.
My issue is when I would see this guy, because what they started doing was they will take this guy and they'll put him here, right? So now you got this. So what I saw was this corner would back up. So this you have this receiver. This corner would back up.
Right.
He would be here, and this guy would slide over here. Now, to me, this side, unless this got to be, unless they're dropping this safety back or playing this back, this safety out of the box, this has to be wide open, or I'm okay with, what my coach will call it a GTFO, which is we'll run this off, and then we got this guy sitting behind in this zone or getting behind this backer or getting this off, maybe a hash or out route over here, but you're trying to work this zone right here, or you're trying to get in this open space right here, which T said hit a few times with the, when they went man to man and he would hit right behind the backer. So, but I just felt there were a lot of different dimensions that they didn't use to create different leverages to what would benefit them in going into the game. And I felt they kind of got away from it a little too early and kind of got simplistic.
Well, sometimes too, Coach, what Jackson State did, and see, that's the thing, Scott, about running the spread, because you showed the defense either I'm going 3-by-1 or I'm going 2-by-2. So now on the defense, if I know where you're gonna line up, then now I'm gonna show you different looks as well. Because sometimes they went man and brought extra people, and that way, and remember the quarterback for Southern kept jumping out and running and getting the first down. It's because they locked up everybody. You know what I'm saying? They went man, they looked zone, but they end up going man, and they did a lot of man. See, from last year under Coach Dennis, they played a lot of man, and they done a lot of that this year. They showed you zone look and then locked up in man. So if you gave them a lot of different looks, then now you're putting them in situations where you know what they're doing in the secondary.
Absolutely.
But if you don't, and you just keep showing them 3-by-1, 2-by-2, then you don't know what they're doing. Sometimes they lock it up. Sometimes they playing what we call quarter halves, where you got playing cover 2 on one side and 3 on the other. So what may look open might not be open once the ball is snapped.
That's fair.
Now, Scotty pointed this out for Jackson State. A few times it looked like zone, but when you motion the guy across, you could see that it was actually man
based off the move
when they motioned the guy across, and what the guy who I thought was maybe a zone guy in the middle actually was a spy. You know what I mean? And so it looked like to me, it may have just been a factor of him trying to. It looked like he was throwing into coverage, but he may have just been throwing into the drop zone of the spot. You know what I mean? By trying to throw it to the tight end or the guy going across the middle.
It wasn't a spy. It was more called a robber, and that means just when Spotty said, "Man, why they wasn't getting the ball here?" Then maybe that's where he was robbing it. Maybe they were looking to try to think that. So what that safety does is he'll for 2 on their release. Let's say number 3 goes shadow. Then his eyes go on number 2 to see what he's doing. If he runs a go route, I'll take the go route. If he come and run a dig route, then that's where I'm sitting and I'm a rob from the opposite side of where you have most of your wide receivers at, or that you got a top guy that you like to throw the ball to.
And he just leans to that side. Or he'll lean to that side of where you want to go with the ball.
Where you open up to.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. In the middle of the field, and he'll look at what the trip side is doing.
Got you. So essentially, let's say this guy goes on a shallow, you know what I'm saying? And and this guy goes on a dig, and then this guy probably just does a fade route or
Scotty,
whatever.
they did that, and he didn't throw, and Noah Botton didn't throw the ball. They did just what you said. Remember when you pointed that out?
Yeah.
That guy ran across her. He was wide open, and for whatever reason, Noah Botton did.
The drag, on the one he held. Yeah, you're right. Because what you're trying to do is make these linebackers make a decision, right? So if they keep dropping, you go to the drag. You hit the drag. If they come up, you hit the window. That's how that works. If you attack down, it's a levels concept. So where if I drop, okay, drag, and then they got to come up and make a tackle, and I'll take the 3 or 4 yards. If they miss, it's probably 5, 10, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it's a quick read. Like now, sometimes coach might read it like if he tells his quarterback, he might read it high to low. Some people have it low to high. It all depends on what your philosophy is in going into that. You know what I'm saying? Going into that read. You know what I'm saying? So,
Coach, let me ask you this question, Coach. Before we
go ahead.
No, I just want to ask you this question, Coach. Not any individual quarterback, but I want to know the quarterback as a whole in this game. Quarterback play as a whole, A, B, C, D, F. What would you give the quarterback play as a whole in this game?
Well, it was 3 of them played, Coach. Of course, Morgan. I'll be honest, guys. They put Morgan in some situations where it cost Morgan to finish and play the game. I think down in the red zone, what you're gonna get in the red zone, I think 85% of the time, man, is you're gonna get some man coverage. You know what I mean? And they're gonna try to send more than they could that you can block, or they could do some zone blitzing. So a lot of times you got to be able to get rid of the football. And I didn't think that the routes that they called was for him to get rid of the football in the red zone. I think also, the bubble screen, because Jackson State, man, they want to put pressure on you. So you got to be able to have your pressure offense to come in the game. Well, what's a pressure offense? Bubble screens, halfback screens, option, stuff underneath where you can get the ball out of your hands. And I just think they put Morgan in a tough situation. I thought the kid behind him came with a lot of momentum. I think he is what they needed, tempo. He could extend plays. He was sort of like an extra running back. That means that I outnumbered you. Meaning when I went 5 linemen, quarterback, and back, now I got 6 to block 5 sometimes for Southern, or 6 to block 6, and then I'm gonna run the quarterback, which he was very successful. How does 6 block 6? You could take the halfback and send him up for either for a linebacker or he'll block the end, and then we could double put 2 on the 3 technique or 2 on the shade. As you seen when he ran the 1 touchdown, he ran a quarterback trap up the middle, and you had the extra people. And when Southern's linebackers get caught up inside, that means the second level of your defense is weak, and that's the way they would be able to exploit Southern in the second half.
Well, I didn't think the Southern linebackers saw the run very well. I thought what was happening is that when they put, you call it an eagle front, I also think Southern, Southern was running almost like a bear front too. Like they would put 5 guys across, and whenever they ran that, they got instant pressure on Jacoby and Morgan. You know what I mean? I'm talking about instant pressure on him like that. And they did the same. You got to realize this. They were able to get instant pressure on the backup, but he was able to get out of that situation and make a guy miss and break contain. So I just think, what I'm really asking you, Coach, like the quarterback play in this game, would you consider it subpar?
Well, once again, Coach, you know, the bare front is when they get in three techniques, you know. So we talking the same language.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, it's just you know, Jackson State's quarterback. I just didn't think that they put him in good situations, man. So it'd be hard for me to judge him. I just thought when they got in the red zone, you know, you take that slot receiver, man, and you run him on the corner route. You know, and Jackson State actually did it to Southern. Y'all remember when the one kid dropped the ball?
Oh,
You know what I
on
mean?
the he threw it on the inside. He tried to make the adjustment, and yeah.
You facing man coverage, you know you're gonna run your outside guy on the hitch. The corner gonna jump the hitch. The safety is
Smash.
sitting in. Now
Yeah.
you try to create a two-way go. Now you in open air. Let's throw the corner out
Yeah.
in the red. And I just didn't see Southern do that. I didn't see Southern do that at all. So at times,
Or
but
Jackson. Yeah.
but you know that's the thing that Jackson State wanted to do was put pressure. So I thought Jackson State's defense came in there with the right game plan. We're gonna put pressure on you. We're gonna make this young kid throw the football. You know, but I just didn't think they done what it was supposed to do in the first half. But in the second half, as y'all seen, they came out. They number one thing they played with tempo. They ran the ball. They gave the ball to the guy who got him there, and then the quarterback added. He was just that much impressive and put even more pressure on Southern's defense. So I mean, if you had a grade, I would say Morgan. I know that's what you had. I would say Morgan was a little below average. I thought the kid at Southern, they quarterback as a freshman. I thought he did some good things, man, but it was tough playing against such a good defense like that in a game like this.
Okay, so this is I want to address this comment right here. He says, Rocky trying to force him to say something negative. How many times you gonna ask the same question? I'm not trying to force him to say something negative. But Coach, okay, maybe you guys don't know. Coach played quarterback in college. He's been a quarterback coach. He's a quarterback guy. So Coach is really in tune with how quarterback play should play itself out. Me and Coach have a philosophical or style difference. I like a guy who can run, who's mobile, whatever. Coach likes an operator out there. He likes a guy who can sit back, deal the ball, call the play, execute the game plan, read the defense, front side and backside. Coach wants a guy who is cerebral, not just an athlete. So, and what I'm saying is, in this game, the athlete was the guy who was able to impact the game, not the cerebral guy. And I'm just going to Coach is, in a game like this, when you want to execute a game plan, attack the weaknesses of the defense, and you don't have a guy who can do that, an athlete is always a good fallback, in my opinion, and it's an easier coaching adjustment, as we saw. Do you agree, Coach?
Well, I agree with you 100%, and this is why. When you play pressure teams, you know, they're gonna get to you. They're gonna get to your quarterback. But if he's an athlete, and when I went into games and playing pressure, I told my quarterback, hey, you're gonna have to run that football sometimes. You know, they're gonna put pressure, somebody gonna slip through. I want you to get on out and give me 3 yards. Give me 3.5 yards. Because as you know, it's 10 yards for a first down. And sometimes when you do have a pocket guy, he stays in the pocket.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's his downfall. Just like when you got a running guy, as soon as his primary receiver ain't open, he take off and run. And you be like, God dang. But sometimes you're a fan watching that, that's the kind of guy you want.
Yeah.
But when you play good teams,
and I'm a fan, Coach. I'm not a coach.
Yeah. When you play good teams, you know, and my coach used to tell me I drop back is 3rd and 15. I take off and run. He said, you dumbass. You know, that's what they want you to do. Because they figure they could tackle you between 0 and 15. Now it's 4th down. I want you to sit in there and take your reads, your primary, secondary. But here's the kicker. The route he calls is a third down route. So it's your primary is going to get you a first down. Your secondary is going to get you the first down. Then you drop it. And if all them three, then you run it, you know. But running, they don't seem to get to that third guy more, and really maybe not the second guy. So when I seen Morgan, I just thought they put him in some situations because he is a pocket guy. He's not a guy that wants to escape and run the ball. But you know, Southern is a team that they don't blitz you a lot, but they're gonna keep 6 in the box. They're gonna keep 6 in the box at all times. So that always leaves one guy open. So
and my issue is I don't like that if you just because you got 6 people in the box doesn't mean you're gonna stop the run. And I feel like because what my coach would say is you don't want them old linemen moving forward and getting you 3 or 4 yards off the line of scrimmage, right? Like I want to meet you in that tight area, so it makes it harder for them to turn and move and whatever. But the lack of run blitzing by Southern really bothered me. Like, you're playing with house money. Like, you're not supposed to win this game, and you're in this joker 10-10 at half. That's a victory by itself. And then you come out, it's 2nd and 20, and you allow that big pass to go, and then next thing you know, they run it, touchdown. And I'm like, when are you going to blitz? When are you going to apply pressure to them and make them speed up? Because Zai's not going to go through his progressions. He's not that type of guy. He's a one-read, front-side guy. If the play is drawn up to go to that guy, I'm gonna throw it to that guy, and that's what he is. That's what he does. And I didn't feel like Southern did enough to apply pressure to Jackson State's offense to make them do something different, other than what they did in the first half, which applying pressure by the D line. But let me take some of these calls while Coach comes back.
I'm sure his power went out.
5193 coming to you.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This Willie calling from Jackson.
What's up, Willie?
Hey, I want to comment on the game. I thought TC called he called a conservative game, and I think just like Coach, he put Morgan in a lot of uncomfortable positions. I think he was trying to be balanced, and he probably had a certain number of pack plays he wanted done, and it just. And instead of diverting from those plays and playing what was given to him on the field, he put him in those positions. But it wasn't in no doubt. I mean, I've been seeing the same thing for the last 8 weeks. They adjust the second half, and they just totally dominated the team in the second half. I disagree with Rocky.
Mr. Will, I always usually agree with you, and I'm always rock. I disagree with the adjustments. I think Southern took itself out the game. They didn't do anything in the first half that worked. Everything I just explained to you. Nothing they did in the first half they brought to the second half. Nothing. They rarely ran the 2x2 formation that worked. They didn't go back to it. So realistically, like that was.
They didn't even give the running game a real try.
First half, right? Jackson State adjusted.
No, they did not.
Second half.
No, they did not. How are you going to? How didn't they? They didn't adjust to anything. That Southern just went back to what they did.
Score more than 3 points? Why didn't you score 10 points like they did in the first half? If it wasn't no adjustments.
Okay, Mr. Willie.
How did they gain less yards in the second half?
Okay, Mr. Willie. All right, Mr. Willie.
You can't argue with me like that.
I'm not.
You probably argue with other people.
You're not making no logical sense. Now, I mean, we can. You can't give it all to Jackson and act like Southern came out with the same game plan. They did it.
I'm not giving it all to Jackson.
And I just explained to you why.
What I'm saying is, no. What I'm saying, Scotty, what I'm saying is, now Southern is an improved team, but Jackson, I really now you're gonna think I'm Jackson. But Jackson had the game under control the whole game. They are scoring machine. Had a bad game today.
That's a lot of textures. My lot of textures going off.
Is watch a lot of HBCU games next year, and know who will make us that fight before you send a group of guys dancing in the stand. I think you need to watch a lot more cultural.
Hey, Willie.
That ain't got nothing to do with the football game. That ain't got nothing to do with the football game, Mr. Willie.
It didn't have nothing to do with the football game when he said that.
Okay,
Willie. Oh, this is what I want to say. How do they have? Okay, with a minute and 54 seconds left to go in the game, down 10-7. How did Jackson State? 10-3. How did Jackson State have control of the game the entire time? In the second quarter, with 1 minute and 54 seconds left, down by 7. Coach, do you have control of the game when you 7 points down with a minute and 54 left to go in the second quarter?
No, sir. Actually, if I was the Southern coach, I would feel damn good. Now, I would have been upset at my defense to give up them plays right before the half. You know what I'm saying? But when I even watched the game, and because I was I felt Jackson State would do what they eventually done, but I would look for more in the first half. But once I started seeing that, I didn't feel that they had control in the first half. I felt that, of course, we know Jackson State is Jackson State. They got a great offense, but they just didn't display it in the first half. This
is what I feel Mr. Willie should have said, is that we were never worried about losing the game. Like that, I would have said, you're right, Mr. Willie, because nothing Southern shown you would have scared you to be like, oh man, if we don't do this. No. So at no point did I feel they were in jeopardy of losing the game because they had enough firepower to get with you in multiple ways. But the issue with him saying they controlled the game the whole time was a flat out lie. And it didn't help that Southern didn't do nothing in the second half. They did to get to the position in the first half.
Scotty, on my show, I said I guaranteed I'm taking all $100 bets straight up for Jackson that people had Southern. A couple people, Adrian Walker, Teldrick, a couple other people took the bet.
They need to send them 100 to the show, Coach.
Yeah, they need to send them 100 to us, Coach. And so I had a few dollars on the line. I was worried. You understand? Because until the play that to the point till Zay came in, I didn't have any confidence Jackson State could consistently move the ball the way they were trying to move. I didn't have any confidence because each time they got it in plus territory, their drive stalled out. Go ahead, Coach.
Again, that's what made coaches great is when they make good second half transitions in the locker room, and I take my hat off to T.C. Taylor and them. But I'll say this for the caller just called. When Jackson State ran down and scored, that made me a little more comfortable. And I think they had the momentum. They wasn't playing Jackson State football. They were playing Southern football. So you got to give Southern University credit. I think their staff came out, said, we're going to slow them down. We're going to take the run game away from them. And TC them, they bid on it. And that's why they started throwing the football with Morgan, And then once they were like, well, damn, we in the game. And, they raced down the score right before the half. I thought that was real big. That was a big possession for Jackson State.
Coach, you said something while we were on the phone that I thought was pretty profound. You was talking about being a play caller and taking what the defense give you. Can you just expound on that? And with a team, you were saying in TC's situation, taking what the defense gives him may not be your best option.
Right. One thing about a good offensive coordinator, that's what he does. He looks at the defense, and if they're in cover two. You know, he wanna run the football because they don't have another safety or corner in the run force game. You know, and then sometimes when you show three, you know, or when I'm going 2 by 2 with only one back, if I got two linebackers in there, so I got five blocking and I got one running back. Unless you got a quarterback that can run, that you don't mind running the football, then yeah, now you got six to block six. So you would call run plays to block six. But if they just gonna sit two linebackers in the box and play you man on the outside and some three, then yeah, I want to throw the football because I feel my. So sometimes as a coordinator, you get caught up in that. So what changes that? What changes that is you also go in the game saying we need to get the ball to our playmakers. Who are those? Well, in Jackson State, it's the tailback. So regardless if they got two linebackers and four down linemen, then we gonna run those plays that we can block six, whether it's leaving the five technique outside alone with a fake and give it to him, but I mean like a jet motion, or fake it to him as he going and then now give it back to the back. You know what I mean? Or we gonna read the five technique. So if that end come down, the quarterback will pull it. If he comes up the field, we're gonna give it to the back. So those some six techniques. So that's what happened. And I think when Jackson State came out and they seen that Southern saying we keeping two linebackers in the box. So I guess he chose to try to throw the ball. That ain't Morgan's strong point. That wasn't Jackson State's offense strong point, and that kind of stalled them in the first half.
All right, let me take this caller. Smoke, coming to you.
Yo, Scotty, what's up with it, man?
What's good, Smoke? Talk to us.
I just got a few things I want to point out from the game. I went to the game today. It was very good scenery. First off, I just want to congratulate to my beloved Jackson State Tigers. I want to congratulate Southern also. Man, listen, if you are a Southern fan and you support that football program, bro, you have everything to be excited about. They counted Southern out, and Southern made it this far, and I think Coach Graves is a great coach. I feel like Southern had the perfect game plan. I think they took away from what Alabama State did and what a few other teams tried to do, and that was put pressure on Jacobian and get him out of the pocket, get him uncomfortable. And they tried to stop the run game also. Givens is a dog, man. He's a dog. I hadn't watched much of him this year, but he made a major impact for them today, and he's a dog. If you are Southern, you have a lot to be excited about for your next season. I think Graves is gonna. I love the way he coached that team to the end of that game, bro. Most coaches would have gave up, and you know what I'm saying. But he coached that Southern team all the way to the end of the game, and I love that. I think he's the man for that job. I think he's gonna do a great job next year. If you are the Jackson State Tiger, in the way that Zy McDonald stepped up, and I think Scotty, we talked about Zy a lot before. Seeing how Zy stepped up and came in the game, and I think he came in at the right time. He gave us the momentum boost that we needed. He came in the game and scored right away. If you're us, we have a lot to be excited about for next year also. Even though the season isn't done, we have one more left. We got a lot to be excited about next year also. If Coach TC can convince Zy and Travis to stay, and not in that quarter, because a lot of teams are going to be after Mr. Travis career. I'm telling you right now, a lot of Power 4 and Power 5 teams are going to be coming his way for the transfer portal. But if Coach TC can find a way to convince those guys to stay, we got a lot to be excited about. I think that duo right there is going to be. I think he just may be better than that Jacobian and Irv duo, because not as that little more twist to it with him being a dual threat. So I think they'll be able to dig deep more into that RPO type of package if they can. Take away. I think we'll be good against South Carolina State. I don't think it's going to be a pretty blowout or anything. I think if we can go in there and the defense can do their job the way they did it today. We started off pretty sluggish. I think Southern shot themselves in the foot. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think we lost control of that ball game at one point. So I don't know what Mr. Willie was talking about, but at one point we definitely lost control of that ball game. When Southern went up 10-3, I'm sitting in the stands looking like shit, like what's going on? But once again, we found a way to win. And I think that's been JSU football all year, finding a way to win and then capitalizing off mistakes. Southern was having some quarterback issues also. Their third string came in through a few interceptions, so we capitalized off them. Great ball game. It started off great. I don't like blowout games, even though the score was what it was, but it was an ugly 41-13. But I like the way the game started out. It was a good old fashioned football game, So that's it, bro. That's all I gotta say, man. I'm looking forward to playing against South Carolina State. I think it's gonna be a really pretty good game. That's it. I ain't gonna hold y'all up, bro.
Hey, appreciate the call though, Smoke. Let me say this. If I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. If I'm a Southern fan, a lot of those guys, I think Kelly's a senior. If I'm not mistaken, I think he's a senior. I don't know if he's coming back. I wouldn't be surprised if he leaves. Your quarterback room needs to get revamped. Your linebacker room needs to get revamped. Like it's depending on what you keep, lets you know if you have a good team. And with the transfer portal, you really don't know what you have. So to be excited about something when you don't know who's getting in the portal, who's dipping, who's coming, you do not know. So for Southern fans, no, you do not have a lot to be excited for because you still got Mark Fredericks. And based off what he was, if anybody should get frustrated, you should get frustrated with Mark Fredericks because how you run something in the first half and never go back to it, I will never understand. It just won't make sense to me. And my second thing is this. I think this was the turning point of the game. 10-3. You get an interception. You're at midfield. Southern's at midfield with an opportunity to go up 17-3. And you play scared. It's like, to me, it's like 4th and 1 and you're going against Kansas City Chiefs. I gotta put the nail in the coffin right here, right now. I gotta show you that we're not here to play with.
Coach Cole says, Coach, would that be a time for one of those Chinese touchdowns?
I really thought they were gonna come back and come with some like a reverse pass or, because when you turn the ball over, then now the defense over there drinking water and thinking, oh, everything fine, and it's it's sudden change. Now they running on the field, you know what I mean? And that's when you kind of come with some they ain't seen or some you don't got in your back. Well, that's what I would do. Let me say that.
Yeah. So, and to me, it's like, again, you're playing. I'm gonna keep saying it. You're playing with house money. You're not supposed to be here. You already got them reeling. Everybody in the stadium is in shock right now that you up 10-3 with the ball to go in.
And to your point, Scotty. Now I'm gonna say this before Terrence Graves did a tremendous job this year. I was critical of him and his team and how they played all season, but at the end of the day, they were able to get in the championship. And by any measure, this team has overachieved. And normally, when a team overachieves, you want to get a coach the credit. Yeah. You want to get a coach the credit because when they underachieve, but he gets the blame. He gets the blame. So I want to get coach the credit. But here's what I think happened, Coach. Even when the game was 10-3, they were playing like they were the champ. You know what I mean? They started playing like, let's just get it to halftime, or let's just see if we can limp to the game. Pause. If we can limp to the game, limp to the end of the game with a 7-point lead. You had to really understand that you weren't going to beat Jackson with 10 points. You understand? You have to go in the game understanding how many points you need to beat them. And they should have been focused on getting those number of points rather than just having the lead.
Absolutely. No, I listen, if it's however you want to play it, right? Because for the last 5 or 6 games, Jackson hasn't allowed anybody to score a touchdown. So if that's the mindset that you're going into, you're like, hey, I got to get as many as I can in the first half because we don't know what this offense is going to look like or what we're going to be able to do or if they're going to shut us down or whatever. And that's just being aggressive and letting your team know because your team have to have the same mindset. You got to have that conversation. My coach in college would be like, listen, this is not the game where we're going to come in scared. If we have an opportunity to put the nail in the coffin, we're going to put the nail in the coffin. And I'm letting you know if it's 4th and 2, if it's less than 3, we're going for it. If it's at the right time, at the right situation, we're going to go for it. So your team already has the mindset of, hey, it's one of those games. We're going to be on. We're going to dictate. We're going to dictate, right? And again, the fans and the alums, they might not like it. But your team needs to understand and respect it and like, hey, this is the game plan that we're going into, and we're going to live and die with it. And nobody expects us to be here. We're going to show them, right? So it's putting that belief in T-Set. It's putting that belief in Givens. It's putting that belief in the defense. It's taking on that mindset as a team to say, listen, we're not going in with the mindset of we're happy to be here. We're going in the mindset of we're going to do whatever possible to win. And at that point right there, I was not pleased with those play calls. I really wasn't. I just really wasn't because I'm like,
we hear you, coach.
It's just for me, it's like that was a crucial moment in the game. You're playing with how you got the ball on your side, all those type of things, man. I just didn't like it. I just didn't like it.
Yeah. Now, Scotty, I'm bringing up this sequence in this game. What happened is, Jackson State ran 2 plays on first and 10. They gave the ball to Irv. Irv got 6 yards. On 2nd and 4, they've been doing this the whole game in the first half. They drop back the pass. Jacoby Morgan throws an interception. Right?
Mm-hmm.
With the Southern gets the ball on the 29-yard line, on their own 29, and they run the ball 4 straight times, and then they throw a pass to Kendrick Grimes, and he gets 3 yards, and they end up punting on 4th and 3. At that point, you saying they should have been trying to go for the jugular right there.
Gotta go.
Rather than run the ball 4 times, they should have been going for the jugular right there.
What was it, 4th and 3?
No, it was third. Yeah, it was third. And it was. So this is what it said. On first down, they got a 5-yard run. On second down, they got an 8-yard run by Russell. Then on first down, they got a 3-yard run by T-Set. Second down, they got another 1-yard run, and then it was 3rd and 6 from the 46. So they're at midfield.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. 3rd and 6 from the 46. And then I think they do like either a swing pass or a screen play to Kendrick Grimes, and he gets tackled. And they're at midfield, 4th and 3 with a minute 54 left to go in the first half.
I'm doing a fake punt. Or I'm coming out with some type of play that I feel really, really, really good about. And maybe coach could have something, but for me, I think I probably would have went with it's tough because they could have went punt safe. You know what I'm saying? They could go punt safe. They're like, hey, we don't care. But from what it was, they had a punt block formation on when they kicked that. I just want to be they had a punt block formation when they kicked that, and Travis called fair catch with the catch. But to me, I'm going for it, man. Like I'm going for it. Now, people could be like, oh, you punt them and your defense was playing great. My defense is not going to win me this game. I just want to let's keep it a buck. My defense is not. I got to put up points. Coaches said it all year. Scotty, they're averaging 35. Like, I mean, he's been saying it all year. Scotty, They're putting up 40 on everybody. So if they've been putting up 40 on everybody, we can expect that they're going to put 40 on us. So we got to put up points. You're not going to keep them down to 17 forever. You're not Alabama State. You ain't been Alabama State all year. So now you're going to come into the SWAC Championship game. Now all of a sudden you're going to be Alabama State. Come on, man. Stop it. You gotta go. In a boxing match, they would say you gotta press. You gotta go. You gotta be the aggressor. You know what I'm saying? To get them on their heels, because what does TC have to do? He's at
You gotta
home.
be a pressure boxer. You gotta be a pressure boxer.
That means you're applying pressure to him. Now he's gotta press. He's gotta press. You know what I'm saying? But when you go in the half at 10-10, that's 0-0. Jackson, like, we good. We come out in the half and we do, because what is the coach like TC gonna say? Nothing is going right for us, and we're still tied in the game.
That's right. But on the other hand, Southern, if I'm Terrence Graham, I'm feeling good. You know, hey, it's 0-0. We pretty much don't shut them down a little bit. But in the back of my mind, I'm knowing they score.
They gonna score.
You know, we got to eat some clock and we got to score. Every possession in that second half had to be important that we get some out of it. Whether it was time on the clock, whether it was 3 points, of course 7 would have been, what you was really trying to do.
Absolutely.
And, I can tell you guys, when I was at Tennessee State in '98, we played Murray State, and they were favored to win the football game, and they were playing great, and we were playing great as well. And I came, and I remember we was at pregame meal, and see, I practice trick plays. We practice them every day, just like we practice the power, the lead, or whatever. We take a section that we're gonna need a quick touchdown. And the kids used to always tease me, Coach, why are we doing this? We don't never run these plays. But damn it, I ran all 10. I promise you, I ran all 10, Coach, and they all worked. Game 46-44 on a block. Running 44.
Wow.
So when you were talking, Scotty, and I know he helped. People might say, well, you ain't coached before, but you got the right idea, man. Look, I'm gonna pour it out on the line of scrimmage. If I can't throw the ball well, hell, I'm a damn run it. And I'm gonna come up with every running play.
Coach, let me ask you this, because you always we don't often talk about it, but you mention it a lot. We having conversations, and you'll say this about a coach. We could be talking about any level of football, and you'll say, hey, well, the play caller's a quarterback, so he's gonna put the ball in the air. Or he's an offensive lineman, so he wants to run the ball. And let me just ask you this. How much over the years, has that personality profile that you use to predict teams, how has that played? Do you use that because it normally plays itself out? Or is that the mentality of teams? Or does that profile work out like that often?
Well, yeah, it's pretty much like that. Not saying that if I was an over-lineman and I'm offensive coordinator that I just want to run the ball. But 9 times out of 10, O-linemen, they want to run the football. And guys who play wide receiver and quarterback, they like throwing the football. That's like break teams down. You get their tendencies. If they're a good run team, they going to let you know when the most time they're going to run the ball. You look at breakdown first. How many times this team run the ball? Oh, man, 90% of the time. How many times they run it on second time? 80s. So first and second down, the defensive coordinator is preparing to do what? Stop the run. It's just tendencies. It's just tendencies that as an offensive lineman, coordinator or head coach, and a defensive head coach, they like to keep the game tight. Just my observation of being around the game all my life. they like to keep the game tight. They like to be in the 24 range. But when you got a gunslinger like a quarterback or wide receiver, you know, shit, he wants to score as many times as he wants. And sometimes that gets you in trouble, just like, you know, want to run the ball all the time. It gets you in trouble.
Yeah.
So you got to be that even keel guy to do what it takes to run.
I remember, and I'm going to say this, I'm going to let you go, Rob, my bad. My thing was, I remember that trick play Dooley pulled out in PV versus Jackson when he threw it to the running back and the running back threw the pass. Like, and they were a high pressure team. I gotta catch you slanted. I gotta catch you committed to one side. Something, just to let you know, hey, you better be thinking, right?
See, pressure teams like that. You know, for instance, we used to have a trick play where we actually line up in doubles and motion the wide receiver across and then bubble, and then the quarterback get it and throw it to him as he going. And we tell him, make sure you look run. And what happens is then the offensive line go down the opposite side, and then he stops and throw it back to the quarterback.
Oh, wow.
Team, when they see that bubble screen, they all 11 men go. Throw that mug back, you walk into the end zone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, we used to run one we call Jughead. Well, what's Jughead? Jughead is off the sprint. You take the back, you ease him up, and put the quarterback underneath, and the quarterback reverse out, and then put it into his pocket, and he sits low, and then the quarterback keep running to the sideline as if he's running a sprint out, but you give it to the fullback, and he's out the backside of that the offensive line. So it's just some things that you got. I think you got to do certain things, and I know you guys remember last year, and I was like, well, man, if they giving you the go route, you got to take a shot at it.
Yeah.
Whether you want to do it or not, you got to keep the defense honest. They can't load up on you. You can't be predictable, and you got to take, especially in championship games. See, a lot of teams, a lot of coaches and stuff get tight. You know, it's like you say, Scotty, shit. Look, this is it. Look, hey, my job is secure. It's the last game of the year. Shit, you gotta let it go.
Let it go, man.
If I lose, I'm losing because I let it go. I'm not sitting
I shot all my bullets in the gun out of the gun. I did everything I could. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to me, and Coach, you're a quarterback. And I'm so sorry. I know you got a question in Rocket Belt. Coach,
No, go ahead. Y'all go ahead.
Coach, you're a quarterback. How would you feel if you T-set and I didn't got you all the way to the fourth quarter. We're down 2 touchdowns, and you bring in a guy.
Hey, my name is Danny Wilson, and I won $500 on the lunch break with AJ Jones.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.